Qualifying to be one of the first recipients of the E polycarbonate passport. So congratulations, thank you very much. So ladies and gentlemen, my humble request is that inform the general public that yes, we have migrated from the paper-based passports to the e-passports, to the polycarbonate passports, but both of them will continue operations until such time as the old ones expire. So there's no need for anybody to come rushing that we need to get the new passports. We're not telling them to change to the new passports. All we're saying is we have a new passport. Everybody should be informed so that there's no rush and there's no worry amongst within the population. Right from your application, we make an assessment as to who you are, and we are properly integrated with NIRA. NIRA will give us the information related to the person, and we go through a due diligence process to ascertain whether this is actually a Ugandan or not. And in that process, sometimes it may create a delay in the sense that we are doing our due diligence to confirm whether the person applying for the passport is actually a Ugandan or not a Ugandan.
Causes of delay, verification. In the past, you'd send a file and then you'd receive a passport without going there. We insisted ever since biometrics came that you cannot delegate somebody to put a thumbprint for you or to capture your face. And through that way, we have weeded out all those cases of non-Ugandans that were accessing these passports for various reasons, for drugs, for trafficking of persons, etc. And we are still insisting that you must appear. So when you appear, then we verify. If you say I'm a Musoga, then we go up to the cell. And you cannot say I'm a Musoga and you don't know your cell. Even for those who are urbanized, at least we bring the parents to say, I am the father. Because we know that language cannot be used as a verification field alone. The infrastructure is basically the same. We only changed the printers, but the rest of the infrastructure is the same. Because this current passport is printed by laser, and the cost, it is cost nil because we are using under the joint venture of Uganda and Veridos to have formed USPC, Uganda Security Printing Company. Everything is catered for under that arrangement. So there is no extra cost.
Going forward, all Ugandans will be embracing the East African electronic passports. We have been having an avenue for Ugandans living in the diaspora returning home on an old passport for purposes of renewal. Going forward, it is this passport has ceased to run starting today. We are not going to allow any Ugandan whatsoever, wherever, whether you are staying out or staying here, to continue using this type of passport. So we shall only embrace the East African passport going forward.
Ugandans with old passports, our target was 1 million, which we have achieved, but we are also aware that of the 1 million, there are very many new applicants, especially due to labor migration to the Middle East. Our estimation is that maybe there are about 400,000 or less. But we wouldn't want to use the word stuck because the system is online, it is robust. We actually have about uncollected passports, about 30,000. But we also know that of those uncollected, it is also due to labor dynamics. You are a lady from deep down in Mbarara or Chisoro, you wanted to go, but you changed your mind, you got married. That passport is there, etc. On part of verification, wouldn't want to politicize that a certain tribe in Uganda. You mentioned those who look like. That's not true. We have a challenge due to colonial legacy of borders. So the border communities, we used to have a minister, the late Agura Awori, and there was a vice president the other side. So if you are to be asked, which family, that family, are they Ugandan, are they Kenyan? So that's what we are dealing with on a daily. So for our case of our brothers and sisters, since you mentioned it, the Banyarwanda community, they are Ugandans in that category of group, but the constitution under chapter 3 going on, detailing who is a citizen, there is a misunderstanding. Somebody says, I'm a citizen by birth. By birth, when you come from Nigeria and you come here and produce a child, that child, according to the constitution of Uganda, is not a Ugandan until they go through a procedure to become a Ugandan. And that child can only be a Ugandan through registration. Or a parents can be Ugandans through registration or dual. So that is what we've been dealing with, in particular case of our brothers and sisters who are Banyarwanda, because they came, the constitution talks, so the constitution talks of a true Ugandan to have been that person whose parents or grandparents were here by the time the map of Uganda was being drawn. And this is as at 1st February 1926. Now, going forward, we know that there are subsequent groups of people that have been coming due to turbulence in the region. There were 59 people who came due to genocide in Rwanda. Even 60s, 70s, 80s, even 94. So the mechanisms to accommodate these people is laid out in our country's laws of the land through naturalization, through registration, or through dual. If our officer, one or two, are caught involved in any of those activities that break the law, it is no excuse that you are in immigration that we forgive you. We are all bound by the law. So number one. Number two, if you are errant, we have a code, Public Service Code of Conduct. We have an Immigration Act and various other laws. So if you act contrary, then you pay the price. So we will not shield anybody. Just like any other Ugandan, those in immigration are also bound by the same laws. So if we also got smuggling ivory or drugs, then you'll go to jail. So on discipline, there is a red line.